Let's have a conversation.
What's happening, all? Good evening. What day are we today? I believe we are Wednesday. That's right. We are Wednesday. It's hump day. I hope everybody has had a good Wednesday so far. My day, I might as well kind of break down my day beginning to end because I was going to just talk about what happened with my dad. And then I was going to talk about the View situation afterwards, but I think I would rather do that in chronological order. So my day began, I was very tired when I woke up. And last night, when I was making the live, telling you guys about how much I enjoy going to live shows, I decided to just take a look and see when my next one was coming up, which I thought was the 5th, tomorrow, for Tamron Hall. But then I discovered I actually had a View ticket that I had gotten approved for like a few days ago. So I was planning to make the View my first show that I attended for the year, but I was so tired when I got up. But anyways, I got myself together. I got myself up super early because I remember the last time that I went to the View, I didn't get in because I got there at the time they told me I should get there, and I did not get in. I didn't even get a chance to get in. So I got up a couple of hours early and left a couple hours early. I was in line a couple hours early. And I was standing out there in this long line. And there's a priority seating and there's a general seating. So I think priority in general is mainly just based on when you've requested the ticket. So the people who get priority seats are the ones that request the tickets way in advance. And I mean more than probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks type of thing, where you don't even know what the guests are. You're just requesting a ticket in advance. So I got a general ticket. So there's a priority line and a general line. The thing about the way that these lines were working is that they kept letting people add on to the priority line. So let's say if I got to the general line at 8 and I was near the front of the general line and it was about time to check me in, more people would come from the priority line. I think they didn't do this right. Okay, they did not do this right in terms of the way they admit people, because they have an actual itinerary which says for this like maybe 30-minute time period or so, we admit priority seating. And then after that, it's all seating. It's just like what they do at an airport. If you pay for the priority boarding, you have to be there at the priority boarding time. If you're not there at the priority boarding time, you end up getting in with the other people. But the way they did this at the View was like the priority boarding time never ended. So it's like you could have been there way longer than that person. The priority boarding, whatever you want to call it, time ends. But if you come late, they're just going to put you in front of the person with the general ticket. So anyways, somebody towards the back of the line where I was standing was like, what's going on? Are we going to get in? Is it full? And the lady says, oh, when you sign up for tickets for the View, it's a 50-50 chance of you getting in. I was like, what? I've never heard of that formula before. There's only 2 times that I have ever not gotten into any show that I've gotten tickets for if I'm there on time. And that is the View, the last time that this happened. And the other one I understood because it was back when Good Morning America was admitting guests, and it was Will Smith and Martin Lawrence when they were advertising for Bad Boys 3. So that was just a you snooze, you lose. You get there on time, you're late. Because when they have popular guests, you have to get there extra early. That's just a known thing if you go to any of these shows. So I was I had to stand out there from the time I got there, which was maybe about 8 or so, until about 10, about 2 hours of standing outside. Whew. They kept counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. When they start counting, you're like, oh no. The count means that they're running out of space and they're seeing how many more of you can be let in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They were like, you 6 can go in. And I was one of the 6. And after that is a cutoff point. And then they had people informing the people behind me, you're not able to come in. So getting into a view is just such an annoying process. Getting into the view is so annoying compared to all the other shows. It's like you're going to some kind of rock concert or something. So then after that big wait outside, there's a big wait inside, except there's no seating area, because all the other ones that I've been to, there's an area where you can sit down and relax until it's time for them to get you upstairs. Nope. They have you stand in this long hallway forever. And then they take you straight from the hallway after you've waited another hour in the hallway up into the actual view studio itself. The studio was freezing. The warm-up lady was pretty nice. She was pretty funny. The show was pretty good. But for all the hassle that you had to go through to get in there, I'm not going to say that I would never do it again. I would just say that I'm not jumping at it, and it won't happen anytime soon. Now, with that off the table, I might do a longer review later when I'm just doing the view. So I get home, I have to get my run in. So I do my run. Hi, Patricia. So I have to get my run in. I do my run outside because it was a nice day today. It was in the 60s. It was like mid 60s today. Random. Thank you, Jay Daly. I haven't gotten to that part yet. I started off with just a quick recap of the view. So I did my run. I was really tired, but I did my run. And I decided, because I don't go every day, but I decided to head over to the nursing home to see my dad. Now, to break this down for you guys a little bit, the last time I heard him speak anything at all was May of 2022. My dad has Alzheimer's and dementia and has had multiple different strokes and mini strokes. So his condition has not been good for a long time. He even had a stroke in the middle of the Big Brother season. And actually, I was on a live during that time, and some of y'all were on that live where I had to actually leave the live and then go to the hospital to see him and then come back. So he hadn't said a word since May of 2022. And that was when things became the most difficult, because no matter what, even though the strokes and the condition limited his vocabulary to where he was only able to say a few words, him being able to say those few words let you know that he knew you were there. He was listening. He was responsive. I would say, hey, Dad, do you know who this is? He tells me, Mark, of course, you know. So as hard as it was a little bit easier just knowing that he recognized me and that he acknowledged me and he knew I was there in the room. After this last stroke that he had, that wasn't happening anymore. He was mostly sleeping. He might look at you from time to time. He's been through it, and you and your family, he's definitely a fighter. Yeah, he might look at you from time to time, but mostly I would go in there, and this is not just me, whoever went in there, myself, my family, my mom, my sister, his family, from his side of the family, like everybody, his friends, people who were visiting him, they would go in there and get no kind of real acknowledgement from him that he knows what's going on. He knows they're there. He wouldn't even really maintain eye contact for you to know that, okay, he's not talking, but he's listening. He used to. He was maintaining eye contact even though he wasn't speaking, but then at a certain point, he stopped maintaining the eye contact. And he was just there, paralyzed and unable to speak for months. And I'll tell you guys, it was breaking my spirit. It really was. Because at first, I was under the assumption that, okay, he's just recovering again. He's recovering from another stroke. So eventually he's going to speak again. I really believed that for a while, for at least a few months. Then after it didn't happen, 2, 3 months, 4 months, I was like, maybe I guess it's time for me to just start being realistic and accept the inevitable. Thank you. And as a matter of fact, in September of last year, they told us that he has days to live. They told us that in September. We're just trying to give him comfort care because his days are numbered. Point blank, that's what they said. So we were kind of preparing for that. And I know that not everybody, that everyone has a limited amount of time on this earth, but only God decides when that time is. Nobody else. Only God decides when that time is. So I've been going in there for months. Talk to him. I play music for him. I bring my ukulele in there. I play songs. I sing for him. You know, no response. I'm not getting any response out of any of this. But I was telling myself, I'm sure he hears this somewhere in some part of his brain. He's hearing me, even though he's not talking to me, and even though he's not telling me that he knows that I'm there or that he appreciates the music and the visits and all that. I know it's in there somewhere, but I didn't believe that I was ever going to hear him say anything ever again. I gave up on that. I really did. So I went in there today with my mom, and my mom was brushing his teeth, and then he started making some noises. Occasionally he has made noises before, typically relating to being in pain. Like if you try to straighten out his legs or turn him, like he'll grunt or groan to indicate that he's in pain. And my mom was asking him, "Are you in pain?" But then I noticed that his mouth was moving. And he was looking at us, or he was looking at me in a way that looked like he was trying to speak to me. So I was just like, "What are you trying to say, Dad? Are you trying to say something?" And I was like, "How are you doing? How are you feeling?" I asked him a few times. And then he said the word "good." It was faint. I took a video of it, but it was like, it was very faint. But he said "good." And you can't imagine hearing somebody say anything after not hearing them talk for 8 months and not going in there and expecting to hear anything. It's miraculous. It has been proven that those who are in that kind of a state hear and understand what you're saying. They are always trying to communicate. It's miraculous to hear somebody who you thought would never say another word say anything. And then, even though he only said that one word, maybe two, he kind of tried to squeeze out another word. I had him talk to a couple of his friends on the phone, and he was making sounds. He was trying to speak. He was trying to say more, which I'm hoping means that maybe with some time, he's going to be able to get out a few more words. But even if he doesn't, the fact that he responded to me today just is a confirmation to me that he's been hearing me this whole time. That even though I have left that place several times with an empty feeling, like, what am I doing this for? Because it doesn't matter what people say. He hears you, he can hear you. He appreciates you being in there. It's hard when you don't hear it from them, because one part of your mind is like, yeah, I'm sure that he hears me in some deep part of his mind. But another part of you is like, I just go in here and talk and nobody says anything back. I play these songs and he's asleep. Makes my heart happy for you. Thank you, Trisha. I'm so happy he spoke and you and your mom were able to hear him speak. That is definitely God. Absolutely. I'm crying happy tears for you. Thank you. So it was just the lift. I feel like it was just the lift that I needed for the day, because I wasn't feeling great today. I was actually feeling a little bit down. I was actually feeling a little bit down today, despite the fact that, I got up, got myself up, went to go be in the audience for the view. I did my exercise. That's all routine. That's all part of my routine. But I did it just because that's what's on my schedule for the day. If I did not have anything on my schedule, I probably would have stayed home. And I didn't wake up. I didn't have a plan for today to even go to the nursing home. I just decided midday, like, hey, I should probably go. I haven't been there in a couple of days. So I'm probably just going to go spend my 30 minutes to an hour in there and leave, because he's going to be probably asleep anyways. When we walked into the room, his eyes were wide open. He's looking at us. He started making noise almost right away. And this is somebody who has been complete silence for 8 months. Complete silence. You don't even know he's in the room. Unless he's in immense pain, then you would hear him squeal out in pain. But aside from that, you don't even know he's in the room. So this was miraculous. I'm very thankful. I hope that we continue to progress in that direction. The reason I'm sharing this, I'll tell you the reason I'm sharing this. When this first started happening at the beginning, I didn't want to share at all, especially not on the internet. Because I'm like, who knows what people do with things on the internet and how they might use them against you, blah, blah, blah. All these different things that I was thinking. But I know people who are actively going through this, who have reached out to me and have told me that they appreciate me for sharing because it helps them with their situation. So that's basically the reason why I'm sharing it. Like, I don't know to what extent, if any, his recovery is going to go, but I do know that no matter what, I've been doing the right thing by just going in there, letting him know that I'm there, playing my songs for him, having conversations with him, whether he responds or not. He hears all of that, and it helps him, because I don't know how much longer he's going to be here. But I do know that he knows that he's not alone. He knows that he's not alone. I went through this with both of my parents. They unfortunately never came out of it. They were both declared brain dead. I'm crying happy tears because even though this is what happened to me, it confirms that both my parents did hear me, and that means everything. Thanks for sharing that. You're welcome, Patricia. You've certainly been doing the right thing. Yeah, so that's basically my testimony for the day. Life is really uncertain because a couple of years ago, my dad was making plans. He started out, he retired and he was doing real estate. He had all these travel plans. He was really independent. The first stroke hit him. He lost a little bit of that independence. The second one hit him. He started to lose his ability to walk, to verbalize. His vocabulary greatly decreased. He started to need help and assistance with a lot of different things. Third stroke hits him. That's it. He's completely dependent on other people. And it happened just like that. And so many things that I've had to go through since that time that I wasn't ready for. I was just thrown right into the fire. One day he's doing his own thing completely, and the next minute I'm assisting with caretaking duties, and then the next minute he can't even be taken care of in our house anymore. And it's just been like this roller coaster. And I've seen these ups and downs over the past few years, because at one point before this last stroke, they told us that he probably wasn't going to walk anymore, but he did. It took assistance with the walker and everything, but I saw him fall down and bounce back from so many different things. And the resilience is something that I carry in my back pocket. Everyone knows me as a resilient person, and I get that in part from my experiences of seeing him over the past couple of years and watching how different things have been ruled out. Like, he's not going to do this and he's not going to do that, and he found a way. And even now, these doctors talk to us like he's gone already. And I understand, they're just going off of medical practices and medical history. But the human spirit, man, the human spirit can be really resilient, and that's what talking after all these months says to me. It says to me that he was probably wanting to do this for a long time, and I don't know. God said today's the day, and maybe some wiring kind of connected just right today, and he was able to get one word out. That's one more word than I ever thought I was going to hear. So I just want to end this off by thanking all of you for your support. I know that I don't always answer every message, but if you can imagine having all these people constantly reach out, how's your dad doing? How's your dad doing? How's your dad doing? In my personal life, and then the love I get from here, which I appreciate, but I'm not always going to be able to respond to all the comments like that. And sometimes thinking about where he is now too much can hinder me or block me or stop me from what I'm trying to do currently, in a sense of it can be overwhelming. So I don't always respond to everyone every time somebody tells me they're sending a prayer or asking me how he's doing, if there's any updates and all that. I also did this for that reason. This is one update. I'm probably not going to be consistently, providing daily updates, obviously, but I wanted to thank all the people who do reach out, send me comments, send me messages, ask me how he's doing. For once, I have a pretty good update. I hope that there will be another word or two. I hope that there will be another word or two to update you guys on before, we'll see what happens. Only God knows. Good? Is that how you just said? Good? Is that how you just said? You feeling good? Yeah. So the one word that he said the one word that I could recognize out of what he was trying to say was good. I asked him a few times, like, how are you doing? And he said good. It was faint, but I heard it, I captured it, breakthrough. I consider that a breakthrough. And hopefully there might be another couple of words that he says. But just knowing that he's in there, that's more of what it did. It's not that I even think that tomorrow he's going to start just talking up a storm, but he was really focused on getting these words out today. He was extremely focused on getting these words out today. And that shows me that in all this 8 months that I haven't heard a word, he was hearing all of my words. And he was hearing all the words of my mom, my sister, my family. He was hearing all the words. He was hearing them. He was feeling them. They were impacting him. And I really feel like a part of his fight of why he's lasted so much longer than what was predicted is due to us being there for him. Because they will fight harder when they know that they have something to fight for and people who care about them. That's my belief. If you just leave a person in a nursing home like that and they don't have any visitors and all they're seeing is medical staff, I strongly believe that they will go faster than somebody who knows that they have family, friends around, people who care about them. So it makes me feel like all this time that I have spent has not been in vain. And I've told you guys that I'm still on a leave that lasts, unfortunately, about less than 3 weeks. But this time that I have been off work has provided me a lot more opportunities to be in there and to visit and to spend my time over there. Because when I was working, I only had weekends available to go see him. So this might not have been able to happen. I feel I made the right choice with that. I needed to take that leave. It coincided with me getting this YouTube page off the ground and also having more time to spend with my family. I believe in timing. Everything happens at the right time. And everything for me has been happening at the right time. Anyways, thank you guys once again. I have things to do in the AM, as always. So I appreciate everybody on this page who supports me. And I'm glad to be able to have shared this great update. And I'll talk to you guys soon.